Hi there, now I'm out again. This time I'm testing the new built beam connector before I finalize it with some paint. I made this beam connector in a similar way as the old one, meaning that when I lean over here, you see that the beam connector can flip over depending on the pressure of the wind in the sails or me leaning. So it's free rotating around the axle there in front. That means that I do not need to be afraid that any sudden wind gusts or too strong winds will flip me over. And I tested this concept a bit earlier, and as you can see in this video, it's possible to sail with the kayak in wind speeds up to about 36 knots, probably more, but 36 knots is what I have been testing it in. And in those wind conditions you will easily flip over a kayak like this, as it's very narrow, even though the sail area isn't that large. But with this connector here, the sail will spill the excess wind and it won't flip me over. The other good thing about this beam connector is that I have attached two pontoons, one on each side, and these pontoons are wing profiled. So when the wind pushes the sail down and the corresponding pontoon goes under the water, it creates hydrodynamic pressure pushing the kayak upwind. So I don't need a centerboard. I think this is quite good. But there is one problem, and that is when the wind varies and the direction that I want to go into varies. The profile of the pontoon can't change to cope with these changes. But I thought about that and come up with this solution, that I have a possibility to change the angle of attack of the pontoon. So by pulling this string here, I can actually push the pontoon into another angle of attack and increase the angle of attack. And by releasing the line, you can see that the pontoon swings back. I think this has potential to work as well, but I noticed that it would be beneficial to have a rubber cord connecting the pontoon somewhere here and up to this control board. If I had a rubber cord there, it would pull the pontoon backwards into position again as soon as I release this string. Otherwise I have to wait for the water to push it back. Yeah, I think it's time to call it a day. The sun will set in a couple of minutes, and there is some rain moving in as well. You can see it's quite much darker there than it is there. I think the beam connector works as anticipated and that I can finish it now. The only thing I might want to add is this rubber cord that will pull the pontoon backwards. But otherwise I think I'm done with this. So that means that I can sand the surface a little bit and apply a couple of coats of paint to make it less visible. I also want to add some rubber band connecting the beam connector to the kayak so it doesn't get scratched there. Otherwise it's done. Yeah. Over and out. See you next time.